Happy Halloween, guys. It's Jeff Toffner here on the Glorious Podcast with my SmackDown Live review, the October 31st, 2017 edition, the Halloween edition. And it wasn't a bad show tonight with it being Halloween and everything. Obviously, last year, Monday Night Raw was on Halloween and it was a complete disaster. But you know what? SmackDown was pretty good tonight. I thought it was actually an overall decent show tonight. Better than Raw, by far. It rebounded nicely. Like I said, the past few weeks have been pure hell on SmackDown. But tonight was pretty good. I got through the night tonight. Like I said, there were a few things I didn't like, but majority of the show tonight I enjoyed. Let's get right into it here. Talk about the good stuff. Talk about the bad stuff. Break it down. I liked the opening promo by Shane McMahon. Shane opened the show, cut a little promo on Raw, took a couple shots at them, then basically said he's going to be the captain of Team SmackDown, which isn't much of a surprise because it was rumored yesterday. I actually brought it up yesterday in my Raw review if you caught that, but Shane being the captain isn't much of a surprise to me. And then we found out a few other guys on the team. Bobby Roode defeats Dolph Ziggler. And then Shinsuke Nakamura later in the night defeats Kevin Owens. And then there's going to be one more spot open. Rusev takes on AJ Styles next week. And the winner gets into the SmackDown Survivor Series team, the men's team. And I'm assuming AJ Styles will end up winning that match. But yeah, the teams got leaked or something a few days ago or whatever. So it's not much of a surprise that Nakamura and Roode won. Let's talk about not Nakamura and Roode. Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler. That match opened the show. I wasn't actually much of excited at all for this match, to be honest with you, because their matches in the past few matches they've had or whatever, Hell in a Cell, the ones they've had on SmackDown the past few weeks. I mean, they haven't been much of anything worth watching. But you know what? This match was good. It kind of set the tone for SmackDown. I liked it. 2 out of 3 falls match. So, there were, first finisher a guy hit. Match was, a pin. Every time there's a 2 out of 3 falls match, I always forget that it's actually a two out of 3 falls match. I always think the match is over. Every time, I've never actually watched a 2 out of 3 falls match and actually remembered it about halfway through the match when someone actually pins someone. But once again that happened tonight. But the match was okay. I liked the match. Bobby Roode won. Not much of a surprise there, like I said, but a good match. It set the tone for the show. Good opening. And then they went on to have Sin Cara versus Baron Corbin, which wasn't much of anything I was excited for either. But that ended up kind of actually being good, believe it or not. I mean, I don't know. I mean, everybody's wondering why Sin Cara is getting this little push or whatever, where he's actually been on TV. The last 3 or 4 weeks, he's actually been on TV compared to not being on TV practically all of 2017. I heard that I've just read something actually before I came on here in the middle of SmackDown. But I read something that he had a new contract or something he signed. So, I mean, I guess that's why they're giving him a little push or whatever here. Hell, he came out looking strong in this match after the match. It just turned out to be a brawl after the match. But he actually looked strong here at the end of this one. So, I mean, I don't know if they're actually going to give him a little bit of a push further on from here. Maybe. We'll see what happens. But obviously, Baron Corbin's taking on The Miz at Survivor Series. I've already told you guys what I thought of that match. I'm not really excited for that match, to be honest. But they've been taking shots at each other on Twitter. I thought that's been pretty good. I mean, only if that stuff was actually on TV. But then again, they're not on the same show, so it wouldn't make any sense. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that was good too. There was a segment backstage. I actually just went. That was between the two matches here. The New Day, Aiden English, Rusev. Little good backstage segment like that. So far, I'm liking the show. And then the show just hits a giant roadblock. AJ Styles taking on Samir Singh. Jinder Mahal. Let's talk about Jinder Mahal first, because what the hell promo was that? He came out there. What the hell was he even talking about? That was awful. That was one of the worst promos I've ever seen. He comes out there, starts talking about all this nonsense and stuff, and Brock Lesnar. I had no idea what was going on. And then Styles comes out, and he has a match with Samir Singh, which is practically identical to the match he had last week with the other Singh brother. Styles picks up the win. The Singh brother got no offense in at all. And then the same thing happens again. Mahal and the Singh brothers attack him after the match. And then Jinder Mahal almost killed AJ Styles after the match twice when he hit him with the Colossus. The first time I was like, oh god, awkward landing. The second time was even worse. He's out here. Mahal's out here just reckless, reckless in the ring with Styles. So I mean, oh my god, Jinder Mahal. I can't take him with the title though. They really have to get the title off him, and I don't think they're gonna do it. The title's not on the line of the pay-per-view, so it's gonna be on him at least until after Survivor Series. And then it's rumored that he's going to take on Styles for the title at Clash of Champions in December, which I don't think we'll see Styles win the title yet. from him there. I mean, maybe at the Royal Rumble, we'll see. But I mean, for all I know, and I honestly think they're going to keep the title. Unfortunately, on Jinder Mahal all the way up until WrestleMania. Like I said, they should have took the title off Mahal back at SummerSlam. Not necessarily Nakamura winning the title was, I wasn't necessarily in favor of that. I definitely think Nakamura will win the WWE title one day. I just don't think it was the right time to put the title on him back around SummerSlam. So that's why I thought it was actually the better idea to actually have Mahal win that match. But I thought maybe there should have been an opponent, someone else, John Cena maybe. That would have made more sense. Mahal versus Cena. Cena wins, 17th world title at SummerSlam. That would have made more sense. A lot of people hate Cena and all, but that would have made more sense at the time. And then I don't know. Then they tried to run that feud out with Nakamura and Mahal, and it was just awful. I mean, from SummerSlam, and then the build for the Hell in a Cell match was just, oh my god, some of the worst build I've ever seen for a match. And we're talking the build for the WWE title here, the most prestigious title in the entire business. And the build for the matches are just abysmal. That title has just been so just destroyed, and the champions, the people who've held it throughout the past year or whatever. I mean, it's just an embarrassment to what that title has become. I mean, other than AJ Styles, who held it for a little bit, I mean, it's just been a disgrace. I mean, you go back to WrestleMania. I talked about this almost 1,000 times on here, but Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. I go back and watch WrestleMania sometimes. WrestleMania 33. That is the one and only match I skip over every time because I just couldn't stand it. It was awful. You know what I mean? And that shouldn't be that way. That is the WWE title on the line. That should be one of the biggest matches on the entire card, but it wasn't, and it's been that way all year. I mean, with Jinder Mahal holding the title, it just feels like it doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? It should be the United States title that's in this here, not the WWE title. I mean, the entire year of 2017, the United States title has been more important, more prestigious on SmackDown than the WWE Championship has, which is kind of backwards. It should be the other way around. I mean, I like that they're giving the U.S. title some prestige, but I mean, it should, the WWE title. The WWE title is not getting anything. They're just, doing nothing with it. The feuds are boring. The people holding it just isn't right. And then for some odd reason, they think Jinder Mahal is the right guy for it, which I thought at first, like I've said before, it wasn't bad. They were kind of experimenting, put the title on Mahal, let him have a little run with it. I thought it would have been the perfect time, take it off him at SummerSlam, and then that's that. Maybe have Mahal go down and, get into the U.S. title picture, something like that. But no, they just want to keep the title on him. The Nakamura feud was awful. Thank God that is over because that was awful. And now we have to sit through Brock Lesnar and Jinder Mahal. The title isn't on the line, but still, I mean, God, that match is going to be a disaster. A lot of people are saying it. I've been saying it too for the past few weeks. That match is going to be Goldberg versus Lesnar all over again. It's going to be less than probably 5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes if we get lucky at Survivor Series. I just cannot see them guys going maybe 20 minutes or 15 minutes. Let's just hope they at least, try to make it good or something. Maybe, do some stuff outside the ring and just because I remember that. I mean, I don't know, man. I just hope it's not a mess at Survivor Series, but I feel like it is. I feel like we could be looking at Goldberg Lesnar Part 2 all over again come Survivor Series in a few weeks, but let's hope not. So that segment was awful. Everything about it. The match, the match wasn't really anything. It's not like I thought, the Singh brother was going to put up a good match or whatever. He probably could. They could actually wrestle those guys, but WWE's making them look like complete jobbers. But Styles picks up the win, quick thing, and then Mahal was just a disaster from the promo to almost killing AJ Styles, after the match. Rusev defeats Big E. Nothing crazy there. Solid match. And then Shane, obviously, like I said before, he announces Rusev versus Styles next week for the final spot on the SmackDown men's team for the Survivor Series. The Survivor Series team. And then we get stranger things with Breezango, which I liked. It was great. I thought it's back to what it once was again. Fashion Files, Stranger Things, whatever you want to call it. I loved it. It was good tonight. I loved how they brought Stranger Things. Everybody's a big fan of Stranger Things. I just finished watching it. If you guys haven't watched Stranger Things yet, go watch it on Netflix. It's amazing. But I like, you bring that into it. That gets people interested. But I love this segment tonight. It was funny. Ty Dillinger was hilarious in this segment. Just the small things in this segment were good. I was worried though, the Fashion Files were kind of getting a little, they were getting a little boring, kind of, repetitive over the past few weeks. But what they did tonight was really good. I thought, it just changed it up a little bit, brought something new into it, and it was good tonight. So that was back, so all of a sudden SmackDown's getting back on track. And then they end with a pretty good match. Shinsuke Nakamura, Kevin Owens. Nakamura picks up the win. We see Randy Orton come out after the match, make the save, and then obviously that's that. Nakamura picks up the win. So now we know Nakamura, Randy Orton, Shane McMahon, and Bobby Roode are the 4 of the 5 guys on the SmackDown men's team for Survivor Series. And I assume AJ Styles beats Rusev next week to become the 5th man. That's what the leaked list had, I think. So, I mean, I'd be shocked if Rusev actually picked up the win. But expect that to be the case. Styles picks up the win over Rusev next week. Next week, they're in. It's going to be taped. They're in Manchester, England. So, I don't know. I'm going to try to avoid spoilers next week. I already said that in my Raw review last night. I hate when I always find myself looking at all the spoilers. It's just hard to resist when it's not live. But I don't know. Hopefully I don't. Hopefully, because I remember the shows they had over in where I don't know where it was. Was it in Scotland or England earlier this year, back in May or whatever? But those shows were all they were really bad. They were really bad. Spoilers or not, I thought the shows just in general were really bad. There was a few things I liked. I don't even think I was doing reviews of them shows back then because they were just really bad. So let's hope they're not on that level bad. I mean, they got to be somewhat good because we're a few weeks out from Survivor Series here, so they got to build up for a big pay-per-view here, one of the big 4 pay-per-views. A lot of people are anticipating maybe an invasion angle on SmackDown next week, or Raw invades SmackDown, being that they're both going to be in the same city that night. So it would make sense that it happens next week. If it doesn't happen next week, it's going to happen the week after that on SmackDown, the go-home show. But, expect to see some type of Raw invasion. I don't know if it's going to be the same way where they kind of just the entire roster comes in or maybe just a few people from Raw. But it's probably going to happen next week. So, yeah, SmackDown. Good tonight. Rating out of 10. 6.5 out of 10. It was just a good night. It was just solid tonight. It was okay. I was worried because the last 2 weeks sucked. But tonight saved it. I'm back. All right. I was worried that I was legit saying if the next 2 weeks, I gave it 2 more weeks, this week and next week. If both shows were awful the last 2 weeks, I was debating on even doing SmackDown reviews and even watching SmackDown anymore because it was that bad. But it was just a few bad weeks, and they were able to rebound nicely tonight. And even I really was worried too because it was Halloween. Usually when it's on a holiday, whatever, it could be Halloween, Christmas, you name it, but usually they throw the towel in on those shows and it's awful. But tonight they didn't. They actually went out there and had a pretty good show. If anything, Raw. If anything, Raw felt like the holiday show this year. I mean, it felt like Halloween was yesterday, and they kind of did it yesterday. But SmackDown was good. Let me know what you guys thought of the show down in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys later this week right here on the Glorious Podcast.